Hello everyone. The topic that I am going to discuss in this video is the idea behind angle of departure in root locus. So now let's start with our video. I'll start with the definition of angle of departure and what is the use of angle of departure. Angle of departure is used in root locus to find the angle at which the root locus will emerge out from any complex pole. So angle of departure is found for complex poles. Point number one. Point number two is that this is the formula for finding angle of departure at any complex pole. Uh, AOD is equal to plus minus 180 degree plus sigma phi z minus sigma phi p. Here sigma phi z is sum of all the angles which are subtended by all the zeros at the particular given pole. Suppose you want to find angle of departure at any given complex pole, then we take sum of all the angles subtended by all the zeros of the open loop transfer function, and we uh, those angles are subtended should be subtended at that given complex pole at which we want to find out AOD. Similarly, sigma phi p is sum of all the angles which are subtended by all the poles in the open loop transfer function, and these all angles should be subtended at that given complex pole at which AOD is to be found out. Now, the motive of this video is to discuss the idea behind this formula and why uh, how are we getting angle of departure from this formula. So we take an example of an open loop transfer function GSHS is equal to this transfer function, and as we can see there are four poles in this transfer function: 1, 2, 3 and 4. These are four poles, and these lines, dotted lines, are the part of the root locus. These two lines and these two lines. So now suppose we want to find AOD, angle of departure, for complex pole this s equal to minus 4 plus j4, that is at this pole. We want to find out angle of departure. That means at what angle root locus will emerge out from this pole. We want to find that. So now assume a point on root locus very near to the complex pole s equal to minus 4 plus j4. We take a particular point and name it as y point, and the point, imagine the point to be very near to this pole but on the root locus. So I have zoomed this and shown it here. This is the pole s equal to minus 4 plus j4, and from this pole I have drawn a phasor. This is the phasor with its head at point y and tail at this pole. So this is the phasor that I have drawn. You have to imagine it in your mind that this point is very near to this pole. So now I can write this transfer function in this format by showing these poles separately, and this GSHS is equal to minus 1. We know that this because this is the characteristic equation. Now moving forward, when I write this transfer function in this format, this particular factor, what does it actually mean? This minus 4, s minus of minus 4, what does it actually mean? This actually means the uh, if we take minus 4 as a particular phasor, and this point s which is on root locus, and if we draw a phasor from origin to that point on root locus, and this is the phasor from origin to one of the poles, then if we subtract from this phasor to this phasor, we will get this resultant phasor. This is, I have named this phasor as A, this as B, and this phasor as C. So now we can write it here as a plus c is equal to b, and by normal algebra a is equal to b minus c. So we can see that this phasor, this resultant phasor which we are actually getting, what is the meaning of this s minus of minus 4 is actually the resultant phasor, a phasor. So, and because this is a phasor, this a phasor has some magnitude and some angle which is subtended by that phasor from the horizontal axis. Here this angle is 90 degree, which is subtended from this horizontal axis. So, so when I write this transfer function in this format, uh, there are four different factors, and each factor represent a resultant, uh, which is actually a phasor from that pole. For example, this s minus minus 4, this is actually uh, a phasor from this point to the point y. I assume that this point y here is on root locus. So what is the resultant phasor? Phasor is from a particular pole to the point on particular, this is open loop pole, particular open loop pole from open loop pole to a particular point on root locus. This is the phasor. So each term here actually means a phasor. This is the phasor from origin to that point y. That means from origin to point y, it is given as that phasor is s, and s minus minus 4 is phasor from this open loop pole s equal to minus 4 to that point y. Similarly, phasor, this means phasor from s equal to minus 4 minus j4 to point y, and this is the phasor from s equal to minus 4 plus j4 to point y. Now focus on this term. This is the phasor from the open loop pole minus 4 plus j4 to point y. Now in the last slide I have shown you this particular phasor. This is the phasor from minus 4 plus j4 to this particular point y. This is the phasor which is in the last term. This term is the this term is represented. It is representing this particular phasor, and the angle of this phasor is nothing but angle of departure. The angle of this phasor, I repeat, the angle of this phasor is nothing but angle of departure. So this is the phasor, resultant phasor from open loop pole to point y, and the angle of this phasor is AOD. Now we know that angle of GSHS is equal to plus minus 180 degree because of characteristic equation. We know that. So if I write the angles of all these four terms, and since these four terms are in denominator, we will take negative of the angles of these four terms, and then this negative and this complete expression, it should be equal to plus minus 180 degree because of characteristic equation. So by solving it further, what we'll get, this in place of writing the angle of this phasor, I have written angle of departure because these two are same things. So angle of departure, when I take its negative, it is equal to this, and now I have these three terms, I have combined them together and depicted them by this sigma phi p, that is the sum of angles subtended by these open loop poles at the given uh, at this given minus 4 plus j4 complex pole. So angle of departure is plus minus 180 degree minus sigma phi p. So this is the expression that we started with, and now we have reached it here. Now these the example I took, in this example there were no zeros. Now suppose when zeros are present, then what we'll get, we'll have some numerator terms in this transfer function, and because of those numerator terms, what we'll get here in this expression, instead of this expression, we'll get this expression minus AOD is equal to plus minus 20 plus sigma phi p minus sigma phi z, and AOD will be equal to this particular expression. This is the final expression and the original expression which is used for finding angle of departure. Similarly, we can use similar theory for finding the termination angle, which is uh, we know that root locus terminates at zeros, complex zeros. If suppose there are some branches of root locus which are terminating on complex zeros, then we can similarly understand why that particular formula, the similar formula is used, somewhat similar, and that how we got to that formula, we can easily understand it. So that was all for this topic, and I would request you to please like, share and subscribe this video if you like this, and you can also watch my similar videos, and I will also upload many more such videos in the future. Thank you.